Did you know that the peacock is a symbol of paradise and the resurrection in Christian theology? Well, it appears all throughout medieval Iberian art. In fact, it blends Persian, Byzantine, and Roman influences that mixed with Andalusi art and made their way into Christian lands, like what you see here with the Monastery of Las Huelgas in Burgos. This synthesis gave rise to stunning depictions across various artistic forms, seen in different parts of Europe, North Africa, Iberia, and Eastern Mediterranean. I'm going to show you a bunch of notable examples that I've found that really just highlight the peacock in different types of ways and throughout art. So here's the Arqueta de Silos. It comes from a monastery in Spain, but in fact it was built in a Taifa kingdom in Cuenca in 1026. Today it's in the Museo de Burgos, which is the city's museum, and I think that one thing that's really interesting about this is that instead of being very natural, like the caliphal art that precedes it, really not too much in time before that, you can see that it turns very rustic. So if you look at the peacocks, their necks are very straight, very unrealistic, I would say. All of the animals' necks, they take like a very rigid form. So this just signifies a break with what came before in caliphal art. Now we're looking at a sepulcher with peacocks. It's a 12th century tomb from the monastery of Sant Pere de Casserres in Osona, which is in Catalonia. So it's from the Museo Episcopal de Vic, and I find this one to be very interesting because it's a Romanesque form, but it still kind of bears traces of the Visigothic peacocks that we have seen in centuries preceding this, which we'll actually see later in this presentation here. This is the Monastery de las Huelgas again. You can see that the peacock is also found on other textiles in this period, like one of Almeria, which I have shown on this channel before. But surrounding the peacock, you can see this Arabic, which says Al-Yum wal Iqbal, which says fortune and prosperity. And so there's quite this ambivalence between a Christian monastery using Arabic calligraphy and Arabic words inside of it. It just really shows that at the time the nobles really admired Christian art, and to display their power they copied these Islamic forms and paid Muslim artisans to build their palace monasteries, I would call this. Here's something quite beautiful. I like the blue on this a lot. This is from outside of Iberia actually, it's from France, and it's called the De Pavone. It's from the Biblioteca Municipal, Chalon-sur-Saône. I say Biblioteca Municipal because the source I used to make this was in Spanish. It's from around 1280. And we can move on here to the ceramic plaque with peacocks, which is a Visigothic era piece from the 6th century in Cordoba. Today it's in the Museo Arqueológico de Cordoba. I really like this Visigothic style because it continues the late Roman techniques, and but it takes its own form to where it's very easily identified as Visigothic, and you can find it all throughout the Meseta, really, in Spain, and that's like the flat plateau part of Spain where there's Castile y León. There's many Visigothic churches in this area that take this artistic style. Speaking of one, here's one in Burgos, actually. It's Quintanilla de las Viñas. So this is an example of a 7th century church, and it's just pure Visigothic. I really like these grapes that are on it, combined with the peacocks. These grapes, you can find them repeated throughout later architecture. Like there's this beautiful grape in the Mosque of Cordoba, which I find to be almost like a copy of what comes from the Visigothic. It's kind of a debate on did the Muslims start their own things like horseshoe arches, or did they take them from the Visigoths, which also had them before? Here's a beautiful ceramic with a peacock. It's from the 11th century. It's from Alcalá de Henares. I just always find these bowls to be very pretty, especially the ones that come from Valencia around this period, and even later after the Christian conquest. They just have this glistening feel to them that other ceramic from other parts of the world just doesn't seem to be able to imitate. There feels like there's something very special about this, especially with these beautiful colors that they put in, like this orange and blue that combine to just give you this lovely feel. Must have been nice to be able to use that as a person back in the Middle Ages. Finally, here we have one. It's from San Miguel de San Esteban de Gormaz, a church that's Romanesque. It's it's in somewhat good condition, especially for something that's 1,000 years old. But this is a peacock here, and as I said before, it can symbolize the Christian resurrection. So there are all these things, or they're like the pelican, for example, that you would just never expect to have a Christian meaning, but they do. And here's the peacock. So I hope that you enjoy these anecdotes. So subscribe if you like these videos. There will be more to come. Thank you.